Aries, this is your horoscope for November 2018. Thank you for joining me. Now, the first couple of days of November for you are going to be kind of strict in the sense that there's a lot going on for you at work. You'll have a lot of work responsibilities, but the first 3 days of November, if you put the work in, you will get a lot of good luck coming out of it, especially if you work for an institution, a company, a government, any kind of company. That's where you'll have career success. If you really work hard, there could even be a promotion in it for you. Now, what we have to remember here about November, Aries, is that Venus, the planet of love and beauty and creativity, is in retrograde until the 16th of November. It goes direct on the 16th, hooray! Venus is the planet of love and it's in Libra in your 7th house of relationships. So when Venus is in Libra, it's really good at making connections with other people. And in your 7th house, it's really focused on doing that. But because it's in retrograde, you may come across as different. You may not achieve what it is you want to achieve. So just be careful with that Venus in retrograde. And don't assume that people have experienced you in a certain way when the reality is totally different. On the 4th of November, Mars, your ruler, starts to square Jupiter until the 30th of November. Now Mars is in Aquarius. Mars is your ruler and it's the male principle of desire and what it is you want. And as an Aries, what I always like about you guys is that you are single-minded in your pursuit of a goal. You feel it, you see it, and you go after it, and nothing stops you. Mars in Aquarius wants to express itself communicatively, and it wants to be of service, it wants to teach, and it wants to heal. And the connection with Jupiter in your 8th being anything bigger than yourself, so a company, a government, the other side. Jupiter is the lucky planet and it's at 29 degrees in Scorpio. So 2 and 9 is 11, master number of service. So if you are of service in your work this month, so if you teach other people how to do your process that you've developed, or the more effective, efficient way of working, that's when people really start to see the value in you. And November so far is a fabulous month for you in terms of work. And with this square between Mars and Jupiter, traditionally a square causes friction, but this is really good friction because you will want to you identify something that's not working, you figure out how to fix it, you tell other people how to fix it, and that really helps you succeed in your work. So congrats, you're going to have a fabulous month at work, so really make sure you show up. 5th, 6th, and 7th, we've got the moon still in the moon in Libra going through the 7th house. So the 5th and 6th, they give you a respite from Venus retrograde because the moon helps you come across in the way that you want to, and you actually are self-aware again and you can see how you come across. So the 5th and 6th are good days to pursue someone or to present. The first couple of days not so much because you're not so clear on that. Now on the 7th of November we've got the new moon. I will make separate videos on the new moon and the full moon because they're big events and I'll go into more detail. But what's important for you, Aries, is that this new moon in Scorpio happens in your 8th house of institutions. So a lot of power is being pulled in there. You've got your midheaven and your Jupiter sitting there as well. So if you're working for someone, really put yourself out there. Make a lot of noise so that people see you, because you're really able to influence people this month. And especially if you're like in a sales job or in a in work that has some sort of healing associated with it, you'll really thrive this month. Now let's see, the next couple of days the moon stays in your 8th on the 7th and 8th. So that's the 7th and 8th are about enjoying your work and really seeing how you can delve deeper and enjoy doing that. And then from the 9th through until pretty much the 15th, everything is in your 8th, 9th and 10th houses. So the big focus for you over this period is, how do I fit into this institution where I work? How do I create more growth for myself, expansion? How can I communicate things that are of service to people? And I really think you should take on the role as the teacher or trainer. So let's say you're an actual teacher at school and you teach IT, okay? And suddenly the head teacher notices that your way of doing it is fab because kids love IT suddenly. So you could then be asked to teach the other teachers in the school what it is you're doing differently that the kids are responding to so well, and that kind of scenario could happen. So you're at the peak of your powers here career-wise. On the 16th of November, the 16th of November is a real doozy of a day, okay? First of all, we've got Venus going retrograde, Venus going direct, which is fabulous news. So love is going to be much easier. But now, from the 16th of November until the 6th of December, we've got Mercury, the communication planet, going retrograde in Sagittarius in your 9th house that's ruled by Sagittarius. So Mercury retrograde happens 3 to 4 times a year. It's not meant to rule your life, okay? So some people say, oh, Mercury retrograde, it makes communication more difficult, it makes transportation more difficult, it makes communication with my higher power more difficult, I'm just going to stay inside and do nothing. I travel during Mercury retrogrades. I don't let it stop me. With Mercury retrogrades, and Mercury is my ruler as a Virgo, so you've got to be aware of these energies, but you can't let them control your life. So Mercury retrograde does make communication more difficult. Computers, luggage getting lost, saying things and then having them perceived a different way. But what's also amazing is that with Venus going direct, you're much more lovable. So this Mercury retrograde is like, okay, the logical information stuff is now more difficult, but the charm factor is back. And Mercury in Sagittarius in retrograde is not a good idea to reach out to businesses overseas and to start like a new business venture where you want something produced, for instance, and you reach out to people in Pakistan or China to make your merchandise. It's not a good idea to do that during this retrograde. There may be miscommunication. If you can't avoid it, then make sure that the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed and that you communicate as clearly as possible so that the Mercury retrograde doesn't affect you. Also on the 16th, I mean the 16th of November is going to be a really hardcore day because everything's changing. Mars, your ruler, goes into Pisces in your 12th house. Now, the 12th house is ruled by Pisces and it's the end of the chart. It's about being of service to others. It's like getting ready for death and passing on to the next world. Aries, your sign, is the first house of the chart. It's about beginning, it's about being born, it's about doing stuff. So with Mars in Pisces, you're incapacitated in the sense of taking action. Mercury is in retrograde, so you're not thinking so clearly. But Mars in Pisces really helps you to connect with something bigger than yourself. And at this point in the month, on the 16th, you've got the Moon, Neptune, and Chiron sitting in Pisces in your 12th. So with everything changing, Venus going forward, Mercury going backward, and Mars changing into Pisces, really use this time to focus on your inner life, like the hermits in the tarot, and start to connect and use the motivational energy of Mars to connect with something bigger than yourself, because that can bring real power into your chart, and you can really make a lot of progress in terms of spirituality, connecting with something, that giving you a greater sense of self by the 20th, 21st of November. And then actually you can take those ideas and turn them into practical either ways of working, or you can produce something, or you can I see extra money coming in on the 21st, 22nd. On the 23rd of November, we have the full moon in Gemini. The full moon is when the moon reaches its culmination point. It's in Gemini, which is about communication, and it happens in your 3rd house of communication. So you're the sign of the zodiac that's most positively affected by this full moon, because you'll be able to express yourself very, very well. It's at 4 degrees, so you'll feel tempted to express your beliefs, what you think is true, and it opposes the Sun, Jupiter, Mercury, and your midheaven in the 9th house. So, okay, it looks wonderful on the surface, but Mercury is in retrograde. So again, your communication, your opinions may be misunderstood. Like, I remember when I was house hunting here, I had the estate agent with me, and we looked at this property, and the people who were in there were German, okay, and I'm German as well. So when we left, I said, oh, they were very German, you know, with an accent. And the guy said, he thought I said I don't like Germans. So those kind of things are easily, you know, the misunderstandings can happen very easily. So during this full moon, you will want to express yourself. Make sure you pick the right audience, okay? Make sure that if you're like a liberal militant feminist, that you don't show up at a Republican dinner honoring Trump, you know, because you're not going to go down well. So pick your audience and make sure that you don't put your foot in your mouth. 24th, again, communication is improved by having a connection with a higher power. Family is the 25th, 26th, and 27th. That's what that's about, having fun with family, being around family, having a little bit of a break from work now, and really achieving your desire to take care of other people as well at times. That's going to happen until the 29th. The moon moves into Virgo on the 29th of November and stays in your 6th house until the 2nd of December. So the end of the month will see you again very, very focused on your work, very analytical, very able to sort the good from the bad. And that's why you have such great success in your career this month. So congratulations, Aries. It looks like a fabulous month for you. If you would like a private reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to audio reading. In my readings, I use the astrology chart. It's a blueprint of your soul. It shows me what your life purpose is, what your vocational aptitudes are, what's destined for you in love and romance and health, and also what's coming up in those areas. So if you're interested in a reading, then please visit gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to audio reading. Have a wonderful month, and I'll speak to you soon.